Time now to talk business with our partners 2 Degrees. Just over 10 days left until US tariffs kick in, and we're still hoping for just a 10% hit. So what's the latest here? We've heard some movement from Lutnick, who's the US Commerce Secretary. Joining us now is Garth Bray from Business Desk. Thanks to our partners 2 Degrees. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ryan.
So what are we hearing from Lutnick?
He was on CBS Face the Nation and he said he just got off the phone with the people at the EU, but he made some interesting comments there about the nations that are going to be getting a letter about a smaller tariff rise, basically saying that some small countries, the Latin American countries, Caribbean countries, many countries in Africa would have a baseline tariff of 10%. Now that's the number that we've been expecting here in New Zealand as well. So are we now a small country?
Well, we're not in Africa, but we are small. We fit that part of the equation.
I think we'd be happily taking it because there'd been some earlier comments, I think, out of from President Trump saying that he was looking more like 15 to 20%, and even sort of more recently saying that smaller countries who would be sent letters soon will probably set a tariff for all of them a little over 10%. So this is a little worrying, I think, for New Zealand, which is still waiting to hear, because they are saying that that is a 100% firm deadline, the 1st of August.
Okay. Do you know what they're calling Lutnick? Buttlick. Because
that's what
everybody has to do.
Rude.
That's what everyone's having to do to get themselves off the tariffs, you see. Anyway, the big deal is the EU deal, and we've heard more about that overnight as well.
Yeah, look, basically they're confident that they will get some sort of a deal done. Obviously, they're the two sort of biggest trading parties in this relationship, so good relations between them are probably good for the world economy generally, and for the stocks that a load of people have got investments in, and for our prospects generally. But they are saying that 1st of August is absolutely the deadline. That's when tariffs will start to kick in, that it's a hard deadline, and that any negotiations will have to happen. After that, you'll have to start paying, though, at that point.
Now, we're all thinking, of course, as we're heading our homes this winter back here in New Zealand, about the cost to the power companies. Obviously, gas has been an issue.
Poor old power companies.
What do we think the impact of the gas shortage will have on their bottom line?
Yeah, well, we turned, I suppose, to some people who follow this closely, analysts like Forsyth Barr, who've been our team have been talking to, and a lot of them are looking at the books that are about to be reported in the next month or so for big companies like Meridian, particularly, which is on track for probably its worst earnings result in more than a decade. And you sort of think, crikey, but they must have been making out like bandits last year when power prices were up. Because it was driven by that gas shortage, it looks like they were hit too. They were also having to back pay places like the smelter, the Rio Tinto smelter down at Bluff to buy surplus gas and so on. So they've been really squeezed as well. Basically, they're saying that the financial year of 2025 is going to be a year to forget.
Goodness me. All right. Well, not good for them, but also not good for us because we're paying more, right?
Yeah.
Now, some good news for a little Kiwi company making electric motorbikes this morning.
UBCO, which probably people who pay attention to social media a little bit might have seen these guys. They were running quite a strong campaign for a few years there. These kind of like white-framed, battery-powered motorbikes. I think they...
Is this the one out of Tauranga?
Yeah. Mount Maunganui. And so I think some firms, I think maybe the NZ Post are running a few of them. I certainly see the old Dialer Dominoes guys dashing around on them occasionally. They got into a bit of financial trouble. Yes. Obviously, they were expanding quickly, didn't quite get the results they expected, I think, in Australia. And so they were put into receivership by their backers at the start of the year, in January, owing, I think, about $36 million was the first receivers report. But the good news is that 3 of the major backers of that firm, which are all sort of pretty affluent people themselves, people like Sir Stephen Tyndall, Peter Goodfellow, and the interests of John Holdsworth, who was he's passed on now, but it's his family interest. He helped create a company called Datacom. They've basically ploughed money back into the company to try and keep it running with about 1/5 of the staff, about 20 odd employees. But it's a chance for them to try to fire up, give it another go. They're saying defence contracts might be where they try and push this. It's a kind of a rugged trail bike option, but powered by electricity.
Interesting.
Could be an option.
All right, well, that's good news. That
the
doors will stay open, albeit downsized. Thanks, Garth. Garth Bray from Business Desk, and we talk business every day thanks to our partners 2 Degrees.